holds no terror for me, exile. It is you who should fear.
I'm not afraid to admit to a core of cowardice underneath my calluses.
Endless seers on one map.
Good eye, exile.
Did you wish to join the other
On the
fight?
prowl.
Or do you win? Let's parlay.
I really do hate being back and stronger.
Automatically get
If you think I'm like the
Betrayal.
phoenix, I will
Violence is
Need to
tough.
level these guys back up.
walk away. Even an ignoramus like yourself can see you have the upper hand. What do you want? You will have to cut the words from my mouth.
On. Back down so I can kill you again, please. Oh, I'm not. Oh, okay. Guess I'm not getting another one. No biggie. No biggie. Just being a little stingy. Okay. We can deal with stingy, you know.
When I'm ready, I'm not.
Approach. Make your wish. Your heart will die.
Death holds no terror for me. Death. I'm no traitor. Death holds no.
You want to know what we've been doing here?
At this rate, I feel like I'm going for Kadiros per hour more than anything else.
You've chosen the wrong.
I really do.
Janice
The
is
idea of
nothing. Elrion,
I'm no traitor.
nothing. Pharrell.
like the phoenix. I won't tell you.
I'm no traitor.
I really do hate the idea of dying, but
Even my right. You remind me why I left the Templars. The Templars had a habit of questioning their own.
go. Oh yeah.
Thanks to your
I lost like 20% of a level because I went and did the two T17s I was still missing on this character. I really don't know that Katarina fight, so I'm trying to learn it because that's the one I want to farm from now on until I get minion packed. Right now, since I have to rebuild my board tonight, I have to rebuild my board in a bit. I'm just trying to soak up as much It That Flood that I can.
I will hang your head on my belt, as Khan did Lion Eyes. Sisters, have you forsaken? I choose. You dishonor me. Imprisonment is the slave.
I could have sold you a stocking bonds.
Just crap that I got the best here.
You've done well.
Oh, me kidney. Now, I'm no Clive, but sometimes talking is better than, dying. So just give little Guff a chance to jump.
keep your word.
Okay, I'll take a damn near free
What is your desire?
Does it get to go? The hive buzzes with force. When I'm ready and not before.
Up the stakes. Feel your life drain away.
Come back into bitch.
Choose what you wish. Do what you must, Jinga.
Don't worry.
Assassin, do not forget who is in charge. Ancestors.
You are after the crown, the eternal one, the life.
Reaching Hawk can become rivals. Let's go.
Enough blood has been shed today, warrior. Put down your weapon. Then it is subterfuge. I protect all my men, even ones that aren't. Nakora, I am sorry. I choose. I just can't. I choose.
It likes to rot.
I just can't.
Yes, yes. Send it to the dark place.
You're my kind of murderer, exile. You're getting on my nerves.
My family name was once synonymous with intelligence. Time to espion.
Thanks to your keep your eyes sharp.
Damn.
I have reason to doubt Arion. I don't know what God's plan is, exile, but I know that I care not who I deceive in the pursuit of
It is jealous.
Oh crap! I didn't run enter or research. I'm an idiot.
I'll die 1,000 times. I'm no traitor or trader.
Death is
Got any of these guys?
I don't know what God's plan is, Exile. I prefer not to allow drive the syndicate into a corner.
Only playing.
I choose an honor. Was that really necessary? Death's the end.
Yes.
I'm trying. Exile, you're taking all of this. Can't we bargain again instead?
Ready yourself. Choose what you wish. Come back alive.
No, I missed it.
You win. Let's parlay. I really like the phoenix. Yuck, that was vivid. I see you're not one to bluff. Well, I'm not one to gamble.
I'm going to kill you, Giannis.
Such beautiful skins.
You want to know what we've been doing?
can't work. Look at me. Do I look like a...
Left you a little present in the snow. Not the quest. You want to know what we've been doing here?
Free for all.
I just
Death's the only option.
I just can't.
Was that really necessary? Death's the only option. I'm trying hard. Exile, you're taking all... This is right out of bounds.
When I'm ready, I'm not Further yourself. What is your desire? Your wish has been granted.
Death is but a door. Enter it and see.
Come on, Egon. What I do? Act more jewishly. Come on, Sway. Write my eulogy. Am I looking like I needed a job or looking like I needed a bodyguard? Dum 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 dum. Oh, dum 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 dum. I'm trying to say. Da 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 da.
When I'm ready, I'm not before. I'm leading the It's no easy, does it? Go on. Death is a natural part of life.
Why?
Go on.
Your methods are brutal. You remind me why I left the Templars.
It's so enjoyed dying. It was such beautiful skin. It comes in a coin.
Death is a natural part.
This one will.
I really do hate it. Like it. I really do. They'll be back. You are brutal. My clan would have liked you. I won't tell you a single.
Time to up the stakes. Life is privilege. When I'm ready and not before.
Worry not, Crusader.
The cage beckons.
Sometimes exile.
I do have the capability to have sight.
All this time.
I just can't bring.
Yes!
You're my kind of murderer.
A big, tough man like you would be fine in solitary.
Approach. Choose what you wish.
I think I just fish for Radon on this. But at the same time, I want the damn blueprints. Like, oh,
Death's the only option.
I choose.
It plays too rough.
Death's the only option. Death's the Death's the only option here, I'm afraid. I'm trying. Exile, you're taking all of this far too personal. Good choice. Now listen up.
Gently wait for your god. Posing the wrong creep. The strong eat the weak
In my Templar days, men...
I don't care. I need more mana. Thanks
Okay,
for your
so
I will hang your head on my belt, as Khan did Lionheart, in accordance with ancestors. Have you forsaken? I choose.
Your body is strong to live, but the cell will test your mind.
Fiend and fortune hunter alike turned to ash. A sorry alliance of unending agony.
You're dying? It will return the favor.
I just. I just can't bring myself to.
Did you see that? It does not want to go to the dark place.
I withstood your inquisition, exile. I have struck the foe.
I really.
Death holds no... I'm no...
dying, but
I just can't bring.
gruesome.
Death holds no.
Why? What?
When I'm ready, I'm not.
I'm no traitor or trader. I choose to.
Yuck. Ugh. Damn. That was vivid. I see your time to espionage. Join the other corpses. It is not good if you cut a Parandus. And you definitely.
I'm going to kill thanks to you.
God, that's like the third time I've wasted a hideout now.
Ready yourself. Make your wish. Make your wish. Ready yourself. Make your wish.
I protect all my.
It has watched.
I choose.
Did you see that fiend? It does not want to go. Thanks to your heart. When I'm ready, and not before.
Our dirty little deal is over. You won. I love a bit of gossip, don't you? Who's.
I'm afraid the only option.
Yuck! That was vivid. Yes, yes. If anyone asks where you got such wondrous gifts, well,
traitor or traitor?
I'm afraid.
I really
Yes, excellent.
Maloney fills me with doubt. The worst atrocities of the...
You forget that a savage slaying, if I may say so. I seek to circumvent.
It is jealous.
You've done well. What is your desire?
Time to up the stakes. Shadows, rise and fight.
Thanks to your hard when I'm ready, I lock the door. Oops, clumsy me.
Impressive, interloper. But a fly does not bear puss.
quite sorry.
This
I need more
was
mana.
not in the plan. I'm afraid the
You may despise the machine rogue, but you'll hate my prison even more.
Jack the Axe.
Long may we prosper from this relation.
I've long wanted you to see how. What? Wait. Let me think.
I'm no traitor or trader. I'm no traitor or trader.
I will not be too hard on you.
If you think I'm going to...
I really do.
If you think I'm going to say or do anything to further your pathetic cause, you are sorely mistaken.
I really do.
What's wrong, Verici?
Death is a natural part of life.
If you think I'm going to say or do anything...
Violence is part.
You're more savage than any animal. What do you want from me?
You are truly a savage beast.
Yes! Death's the only option here, I'm afraid. I'm trying. Exile, you're taking all of this far too personally.
I expect you will come at us with a new strategy. But I will and not.
Cameria, remember.
Abroad.
Death holds no terror. I'm not afraid to admit to a core of cowards. Feels it.
Choose what you wish.
definitely should not do so. But
I'm going to kill you, Giannis.
If it's information you're after, there's no one better to converse with than Leo.
It wants to flee. Just
They are coming.
Let's be civil.
I really like the phoenix. Yuck! That was vivid. Yes, yes. If anyone asks where you got such wondrous gifts, well, don't ask me. Need to keep my appearances.
Go! I'll go high, you go left. A good strike, and
Just do it.
death's the only option.
Oh no. Whoa.
Such beautiful skins and claws. We have come to an
Did you wish to join the other corpses, exile? You I love a bit of gossip, don't you? Who's ratting who?
I'm afraid the only option.
Yuck! That was vivid. I see you're not one to bluff. Well,
I'm going to kill. Just not yet.
Ready yourself. Choose what will be.
Father Barasta. You. Vengeance. Yeah, give yourself to the darkness. Ah, if only this were truly the end.
Hello.
Long day.
How's the trail? Stay vigilant.
Let the blood dance begin. Time bends to my will. Struggle or strangle. Time to up the stakes. Twin terrors. Time to up the stakes. Time bends to my will. Another challenger. Another challenger. Handle this. Oh, the glorious spectacle. Repeat my challenge. Gather more combatants.
Greeting.
Like da da da.
so great. The Genesis tree accepts your offering.
Okay, I don't want to get too far because I want her to be able to see this. Let's go ahead and look and see what I got. I got a Slayer. Slammers. I don't need a second Slammer. KF Totems. Piece B. Yes. What is my Steam information? Oh my god, this password is insane. Dismal. Okay, that took a minute to type in. Approve that. I had signed out of my Steam account. All right. I'm just cleaning up all of my stuff from cleaning up all of my stuff. I just migrated and cleaned up my inventory, so we're basically going in fresh. All right. So first things first, we have to go and reset our tree. And I made a bit of a close. I mean, not really, but okay. I can keep that. Wait. How? Oh, because it's going up there. Okay, I get it now. Uncheck that. Okay, so now I need to start building this out. By that, now I can respec this.
How's the trail?
By the gods.
I need to do one extra because my tree is a bit different. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm respecking my Atlas because I'm farming Betrayal, and then this is kind of allowing me to farm a bunch of other stuff while I'm doing that. So I'm farming Sulfite, not because I want Sulfite, simply because I want some of the things that Sulfite gets me. So what I mean by that is this node right here says that sulfite can be converted to ore at 10% of its value, or I can set off in shipments. What that does for me is that allows me to get um, like currencies and things like that, so that I can, just get more currency, yada yada yada. So the other thing that allows me to do is to potentially get excuse me, to potentially get, I'll figure out my words here in a second, I swear, to potentially get like those specific uniques that only come from there. And there are a few that I would play with. And then these nodes right here are heist. And what heist does is heist is that like robbery system I've told you about before, where you kind of like go and break into a vault and then steal all the goods. So I'm trying to get a bunch of contracts and stuff. Heist is extremely boring to do, extremely boring to watch. Um, I don't really suggest it at all. However, it's also really, really good. It really improves your character, and obviously, we want improved characters. So, what am I missing? Just that right there. Okay. And my old map tab is so sad.
Hello.
Okay. Annoying, not terrible. I'm just going through and looking at my stuff. I don't really have anything that will like brick it and make it like not work. They're kind of annoying, but I should be good. One of the perks of playing the build that I'm playing is that I like nothing like completely like turbo bricks my build. So okay, so I'm gonna go into my first map. My board is completely untouched. I've done nothing with it. Did I do the wrong thing? Because I should be blocking ritual. I might have accidentally selected the wrong board. Okay, it that fled. I want it that fled on my board, but I don't want him. Oh, wait. Oh, it kept my board. That's amazing. I didn't think it would do that. Okay, so here's why it's cool, right? So it that fled, he's the one that I want to farm to drop the mageblood cards. So the way this works is I have two boards right here, intervention and research. These only have two things. These fortification and transportation have five things. So the reason I want this is because one, I want it that fled to show up as much as physically possible. So in order to do that is I want to have as many relationships with it that fled as possible. Because when it's like he is this red line here means that they betrayed each other. The green line means that they trust each other. So a lot of relationships have to start as trust and then can become um, betrayal, because you can't betray someone until they trust you. You know, logic. So for intervention, I just want to interact with this guy as much as physically possible. How I interact with him, it doesn't matter. However, if I execute him, making sure I got that node, and I do, yeah. So basically, the way that this works is when you trust or betray someone. So now, when Chimera spawns in a transportation, she has a chance to pull in at that fled because they betrayed each other previously, and it's a chance for them to like kind of make up. So I want it that fled to have a red line with every single person on the entire board because I want him to show up as many times as physically possible. And then similarly, for Janice and for Riker, I want them to have a red line to each of the fives. So transportation and fortification. So that's kind of what I'm working on now. So this guy right here, it that fled is if I execute him, he'll give me some. I'm at 22%. He'll give me some research. Chimera will give me 6%. So I'm gonna go ahead and execute him. And now I went from 22 to 28%. Chimera, I can now interrogate her. So this is over with. Okay. And now I go on to the next one. So my goal is to get a transportation or an intervention and have it that fled get pulled in with either Leo or with Vagan. And then once they're in, then there'll sometimes be an option that will say like, "Oh, hey, so and so can be trusted with these guys." And so like it that fled spawned here now. Perfect. It that fled spawned here. So because this is the actual intervention mechanic. So if you notice, it that fled and Leo had a red line to each other. That's why Leo got pulled in. So when I execute it that fled, I'm going to automatically get 6%. Yeah, trust me, I know. So when I imprison Leo, I get 9% intervention intelligence per turn. So there's 3 turns because he's in prison. So that's 27%. So I'm not going to get better than this. So I'm going to interrogate him. That's going to take him down from a 2-star to a 3-star to a 2-star. So bam, do that. Here I can drop some veiled items. Sure, I'll drop some veiled items. I don't really care about that. And now again, we just kind of go again. Now we run to the next one. Yeah, this is so the video I've watched it twice now, and I like kind of understand it. It's a 70-minute video, and it not only explains everything in like a ludicrous amount of details, but then he actually goes through the process of like making a board, then breaking a board, just to show you how it's done. Which, super awesome that somebody would do that, but like I've watched it twice and I mostly understand it.
What is your desire?
Okay. I gotta run the Mirage. Oh, I accidentally ran the Mirage. Okay, so the reason I want to run these Mirages is for Radan. And Radan is a guarantee here, which is awesome. So he was here. He spawned after I killed 3 guys, and I nuked him already. So what makes him cool is, let me run this real quick. He drops this item called the Black Baria. The Black Baria is a boss invitation token. And part of what that can give you is that it can give you the ability. Oh, hey, a divine. Oh, dude. Yo, let's defer this bad boy. Hell yeah. That's okay. I deferred what I needed. Okay. So the Black Baria is a boss invitation, which super easy boss. I can go kill him for you in a second. He has a chance to drop a belt, and the belt is like the main power spike this league, or one of the main power spikes this league, and it gives you, as long as you don't have a flask active, it gives you a specific flask.
My family name was one time to espionage array.
Thanks to your hard.
Oh yeah, I don't care about that. So not only that, but it can actually be 2 flasks. So you can get an offensive flask or sorry, not flask, shrine. So you can not only get an offensive but a defensive shrine. Um, which, is just super overpowered because like one of the offensive shrines is literally just every time you hit, you crit. So you never have to put a single point into critical strike chance ever again. You just have 100% crit strike chance. And so I'll go kill the boss here. I don't entirely know the mechanics because, to be honest, I've always out damaged him. But the crux of it is you come into the middle and he spawns. And then each one of these circles is a little thing. If you let him, he does some attack that will, like he does this, but it's like it does no damage. It's like, okay, so now he's doing a little bit. Okay, so now he did some damage. But like all you have to do is just, not just stand there like a dumbass. And he swings really slow, so as he's spinning around, you just frostfling through him, and then he literally never hits you. And then when he goes into his intermission here, you have to get off here because he goes under, he does his whole gen thing, and then he did that slam. That slam is a one shot. Like, no matter what. I don't know that it's possible to ever tank it. And then that's the fight. So he only drops 3 items. He drops the this map right here, which he always drops this map. He drops this leather belt. He also drops a staff and a scepter. You only care about the belt, though. And then we're going to ID it. Brutal Shrine. Brutal Shrine is pretty worthless, I believe. Yeah. 15, 10, 15 chaos. So not really worth much of anything. So this map right here, though, is you saw me go into the Mirage. So what this Mirage is the Mirage, that map right there basically says that it mirages the entire map instead of just like a small portion of it. So that's really good for a strategy where like you can focus a ton of things on a map. So for example, if you like tower defense, you can only get one of those on a map. Um, what I'm running right now is mostly focused on things that you can only spawn once on a map. So like this does, they don't help me on this strat. So I'm kind of banking them up on this strat so that on my future strats, I can then run them. Because let's say that you force 6 of something on a map, well, then when the Mirage opens, there's another 6 on the map. So each map gives you 12. Here I'm just Radan fishing. I need a lot of things from this mechanic, but I don't want to invest the time. So we're going into a research. So research is the same thing every time. You kind of have to feel out how the little maze down here is. But either way, you just kind of run to the end of the room, and then you get the leaders. Janice Krill. Yeah, it's tough. Like there's no rhyme or reason about it. Okay, Janice is in research, so if I execute him, I'm gonna get 6. I'm gonna get 6 intelligence. If I execute Carell, I'm gonna get 18 because it's 3 per turn, and then he's imprisoned for 3 turns. Guff is 9 per turn, so I'm gonna execute Guff or interrogate Guff. That's gonna put him into prison down here. And now that reset these options. So already max rank for Janice, there's no effect. Or Carell. Now Carell, if I imprison him, is 9 research intelligence. So went from 6 to 9. I just got a free 9 research intelligence by imprisoning him. Janice and Haku become trusted. This does nothing for me. I don't care if these guys have any interactions at all. I want Janice to have a connection to it that fled. I don't care about Haku. Haku's meaningless. So here, I'm just going to release. And so now, intervention is this right here. It just sort of spawns after others ended. So Leo is rank 2 now. This kind of sucks, to be honest. I'm just going to... 4 is not a lot. So I'm going to execute It That Fled, which does nothing but gives me free research, 6% in here. And I'm hoping that Leo got a better... Leo and Janice became trusted. I don't necessarily care about this, but sure. So this right here is going to put a green line between Leo, which is right here, and Janice, which is right here. Do I necessarily care about it? No. However, it's not a bad thing to have. Because what this does is, again, I want to pull as many people into intervention and research as possible. That allows me to get this safe house research faster and faster. The more people that get pulled in, the more I can interrogate them for information about the leader, and the faster I can get in and kill the leader. These 2 safe houses I will never run. There's some logic behind it, but basically the game wants you to have 4 people in each house, effectively. Math-wise, you want 2255. Because you want to be able to pull in more people from these 2 into these 2 and funnel all of your research into 2 houses. So basically, you can execute someone to raise the rank, or you can interrogate them to lower their rank and feed you intelligence. That's the entire system. So now, It That Fled has like 3 lines. I need them to have a line with literally everyone on the board. So it's just doing this over and over until that happens. And I know it's confusing. Trust me, it's confusing to me too. And I know I mostly understand this. It's one of those things where it's super confusing, but like the more you do it, the more it starts to click. So to be honest, that needs dumb luck. There's nothing that will guarantee you one of the options is a way to actually do it. Okay, so here's a good example. Here's a good example here. So if I betray Vagan, it will destroy all the research equipment on my character. Are on research. So if I talk to Riker, it will destroy all the fortification equipment. The equipment only comes into play when I run the safe house, and I am never running fortification or transportation, so this does nothing for me. This, on the other hand, destroys the research equipment. It makes these safe houses easier. Them having more equipment doesn't get me anything. It doesn't get me more drops. It doesn't get me more anything. So, betray. Bam. Their equipment's gone. This safe house, which is almost ready to run, is now going to be easier when I do. Riker. Riker and Chimera become trusted. These two people are both in the fives. I don't give a shit about that at all. I'm just going to release. Nothing happened now, but nothing bad happened either. Because again, I don't care about the fives. The fives are useless to me. The fives exist to funnel into the twos, nothing more, nothing less. And this is just Maven stuff. That part didn't matter. What I was doing right there. I love looking over and seeing you typing. I mean, kind of, yeah. I mean, so the system is literally called Betrayal. Um, that's kind of all that it is. It's one big thing. So what this used to do is Katarina is the leader of Betrayal. And the way that it worked is you had to run safe houses to get to Katarina. Well, now they fixed that. You don't have to just chain run safe houses anymore. Now what you can do is when you run a safe house, it has a like 1 in 8 chance to drop a betrayal medallion or syndicate medallion because they're called the syndicate. And that will give you like that will just open the portal straight to Katarina. Because one of the main farming points of this was specifically farming Katarina. Again, I don't care about any of these guys. I can pretty much all of these guys. Okay, Chimera's rank 2. So Chimera's got a 2-star. Now I want to rank her up. Transportation, Aceling, execute, and then drop some scarabs. Cool. So I don't have to pay nearly as much attention to that one because again, it's transportation. I'm not running transportation. So all I'm trying to do when transportation spawns is I'm just trying to get everybody oh god. Well that sucks. Everyone when transportation spawns, I'm just trying to get them back up to rank 3. That's really all I'm trying to do. And unfortunately, I just lost an it that fled because I died. And it's all your fault. Well, so why I died is because they do 116% of their physical damage as additional or lightning damage. They gain a frenzy charge on hit, and then they also steal my charges whenever they hit me, and my charges are part of my defensive layer. So when they hit me, they not only got faster, but they crit more, they did more crit damage, and they got tankier. I lost all of those things. Okay. And so, I mean, this is it. This is literally just map to map to map to map. And no one knows for certain. They think it's about like 1 in 200 for the Mageblood card. So 1 in 200 interactions. With It That Fled, when you get all of his relationships done, you can see him 2 or 3 times a map. Like It That Fled spawned here, which is awesome. I'm just cleaning this out a little bit. So It That Fled, Elrion doesn't have a relationship with It That Fled. Nero already does. I'm going to execute him. I don't know if that's the right call or not, but I did it. Elrion, again, no relationship, I don't think. I'm going to execute to rank him up. It That Fled and Gravicious become trusted. Perfect. So now that they're trusted, now they can betray each other. And now that they can betray each other, that's another connection that It That Fled has to another safe house. So here is bad. It That Fled and Khmer become neutral. I never want this, ever. So I release. Nothing happens. It's just nothing happens. Oh, and I didn't run the safe house, so I need to run the safe house before I get to the next one. So I can actually run a map inside of a map. Another reason why I love this game. So this is a safe house here. And so every person in every house gives you a different bonus at the end of a safe house. The one I care about here is Janice. Janice in research gives me a special monster or a special NPC in here named Kadiro. Kadiro is an NPC from an older league that was removed, and they added him back as part of Betrayal. He sells you 4 gold uniques. He can sell you the most useless unique in the entire game. He can sell you a mageblood. It's literally random every time you get in here. So the more you interact with them, the more likely you are to eventually get a mageblood. And so every safe house has that little area back there. It's a different theme in every one, but then once you get in here, now you have to fight the people in the safe house. So how I told you I deleted their equipment, it just made that fight that much easier. When you're here, all you can do is interact with the leader and you execute him. So by executing him, he lost all ranks, but I get a Kadiro. I don't care about any of this. Yeah, I don't care about any of this. These are all bad. I don't think I have that one. I don't think I have this one. But, like, I'm just going to chuck them in my unique tab and go. Now, this is a good one, but I don't think there's anything here that's worthwhile. So what this is an ancient orb, and he spawns a random unique, and an ancient orb will then re-roll it into another unique. Again, it's a way to potentially get a mageblood, a headhunter, that kind of T0 unique you're really looking for. But I got nothing from it, and that's okay. So now I'm back in my map, and I just keep running my map real quick. What's up, B?
Ready yourself.
Time to up the stakes. Grip of the ancients.
All right, I'm just checking something real quick. Wait. There. Oh, perfect. Okay. Evidently, my auto pay kicked out, so I had to go turn that back on one of my bills. Always fun to find out. It's like, why didn't you like call me or email me? You sent me a letter. Yeah, I think it was tied to an old credit card, and like the old credit card finally stopped working,
Approach.
which is always a good thing when it continues working for like
What is your desire?
exorbitant amount of time after it's technically canceled. I mean, to be fair, it is because if not, that would really suck ass. Like, I didn't get a new card because it got stolen. It just expired. So like all the numbers were the same. It's just the expiration date and stuff. And it was my Amarin bill, like for my power. But that makes sense because I got a text saying that like, oh hey, your bill's coming up, but it's like I never get that.
This is grunt work. Look at me. Do I look like a grunt to you?
Okay, so here, Janice, I don't want Janice and It That Flood to move. I want them to stay where the hell they are. However, if I release him, I get nothing. If I imprison him, he loses a rank, but I get 20. No, I get 18%. So I'm going to interrogate him. I'm forcing him to lose a rank, but I can get that back. I just ran the research, so it's not that big of a deal. Okay, It That Fled, Haku, Leo.
Always hoped I'd get a warrior's death.
So I'm going to +1 Leo. I'm going to +1 on Leo because he's oh, okay, never mind. I'm going to take out Haku.
I choose.
Did you see that?
Leo, I can still just +1. So I'm just going to +1 him. And here, I don't want him to become neutral, so I'm just going to release. So the nice thing about It That Fled is I'm going for what he drops. Every time I interact with him, regardless of what he does, he has a chance to drop that Mageblood card. That's really all I care about. I care about that Mageblood card. The safe houses don't really get me much of anything for him. For research, they do. So research safe houses are the most important. It That Fled just being on my map is the most important. So Verici, Guff, and Leo, I don't care about any of these guys. I want a +1 Guff. I'm going to release Leo because I don't care. And I'm going to release Verici because, again, don't care. And yeah, like I said, it's a very convoluted system, but the more you do it, the more it kind of starts to make sense. And then here's Nameless Seer. Similar thing to Kadiro. Nameless Seer just has a chance to spawn in maps, just randomly. He just gives you a free unique. So I'm just going to take this because I don't recognize that. I don't think I have that yet. Okay. And now I'm done. And now we go again.
Fiend and fortune hunter alike turned to ash. Sorry alliance of
So with those contracts, the only one I care about, oh, wow. It's a can't regenerate mana map, so I can't actually run that. So I can't run that either. So no Radon guaranteed, so we don't do that. Yo, puzzle box. What do we get? Anything good? Golden Faith. No.
There is no deed. We must stand your lust for vengeance.
For an Elrion. Don't care about these guys. Ooh, so Tora is really low. So I want to execute him and try to get him up. But it's a betray. So first I'm going to execute. I'm going to release Elrion. And I was hoping that now I could execute him. I can't. I can only bargain. So he drops some veiled items. Cool, but I really wanted to rank him up there. Mira, 6. Hit that fled, 6. Haku, 3. Oh, wow. Okay, so Mira, I'm going to go ahead and imprison her, him, whatever. Haku, I'm just going to execute. Hit that fled. Perfect. It that fled and Varici become trusted. Bargain. So now I just formed another relationship that I can now use that to betray later. And so again, the more relationships, good or bad, the more likely he is to start showing up in my maps. Like during other encounters. That's what I'm going for. So Janice, I need to rank Janice up. Riker, I need to rank Riker up. Gravicious. Ooh, I can just get 14 research intelligence. Let's go. And so again, It That Fled, I just want to interact with It That Fled because I want that Mage Blood card. I'm at 1 of 8 right now. I'd like to have my Mage Blood this weekend if I can. It just depends on how many maps I get to run and how lucky I get. So we are done with that. We go immediately into our next map. That's why we have all these maps that are already prepped. So that we can just go back and forth and back and forth. And I am going a bit slower than normal, but like I'm trying to slow down and show you what I'm doing and kind of talk it out. And I'm dying because I'm not focused. I'm continually looking at my second monitor to see if you're typing. My character's strong, like really strong, but also very, very weak. Like this character is all about freezing monsters, and that is like a major part of your defensive layer, which is also unreliable. So this is just Janice and Riker.
I'm afraid the only...
Yeah, that was vivid.
I'm going to kill you, Giannis. Just not yet.
What is your desire?
Vicious. 9 per. Mira, 4 per. So, done. Not even a question about it.
You're my kind of murderer, exile. My favorite part's when their head first...
Well, I didn't get much on Chimera, and unfortunately, I need to start ranking her up again. So if they go down to rank 0, they effectively become a free floater, and then they want to try to naturally insert themselves into wherever has the least amount of people. which is exactly what I do not want. So I never want them to go below 1, or then, that's exactly what I'm causing to happen. Or only rank 1, and I can only drop unique. No one else spawned, so drop a unique item. I love that you say it's not your fault that I'm distracted. You're the reason I stay distracted.
Life is so brittle.
Game. So the reason I'm doing Silo is, one, it's a pretty straightforward map. You just kind of run in a couple circles, a figure eight. Two is because the way that the boss works is +1 rank. And the boss has a natural intermission phase. So what I'm doing is called destructive play, and basically the more monsters I kill, the more extra bosses Maven brings into the fight, and I'm just trying to get some more drops off of them. Now I'm not optimizing it like I should, so I probably don't even need to do this, because I don't have like a bunch of like extra like map chance and stuff, which is normally what you would do. But actually, what I'm trying to do is get some Maven chisels, and it's just not dropping any.
Did you wish to join the other corpses? You win. Let's parlay. This work? This is.
Oh. And here, I didn't realize this. We have a safe house that we can actually run. And if I don't run it soon, I'm actually going to lose it. So let me go back to back here, I think it was. And let me open this. I actually can't. So if I leave the map, do I lose it? No. So I was one event away from losing this safe house. So I'm gonna forfeit that map, and now I'm just gonna send it on the safe house. And the reason I'm doing this is because I'm looking for Katarina. She drops a support skill called Minion Pact, which is like one of the most broken support gems in the entire game. And if I do that, I'm going to make an entire character around it. Around one gem. That's how strong that gem is. So again, this is kind of the area before the actual safe house itself. Everyone has this. Slightly different theme, but it's all the same stuff. I get Haku, since he's a leader. And then if that flood spawns in there, Eye of Terror. So bam, there we go. I have a quarter of a mageblood now. And it's just like that. And you're probably not even watching because you're not typing anymore. So that's great. Thank you very much. There we go. Okay. Okay. I get knocked down, but I get up again. Keep me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again. That's how I feel. Hello? So this right here, the Eye of Terror gives me a Foulborn Mageblood. So I'm a quarter of the way through. That is amazing. If I can get one a day, like knowing that I play more on Saturday and Sunday, I could probably get 2 or 3. If I get lucky, I mean, luck has everything to do with this though, because you could run 500 maps and not get a single one. You could get 2 in the same map if you're just lucky. And I'm going to count the fact that I'm streaming for and talking to you as you being my luck tonight. Okay. I need to rank up Tora.
I really do hate they'll be back.
You are brutal. My clan would have liked you.
Okay. I don't like my options there, but it is what it is. I should be used to not liking my options. Okay. So here is something funky that I can actually do as well. So Leo, if I imprison him, he gives me 6. So I'm going to imprison him. So now Chimera, if I imprison her, she gives me 6. Et that fled gives me 6 as well. So now on Chimera, I can imprison. It that fled. Now, it that fled gives me 16. Prison's full, so I can't do it. So now I get to bargain that. He gave me 16. So that right there gave me 36, 42. That gave me 52. That gave me 52 research right there. So I'm already halfway to a safe house after a single map.
A species' survival is only truly tested when its environment changes. If you want to kill me,
And you already know I've told you, you make me feel incredibly lucky. So. And now we just blasting. Trying to get that mage blood. So for here, I'm only looking for deception contracts. The reason that is because what deception does is deception gives you what's called an oh crap, what is that called? Not an unveil. Reveal. So it gives you another reveal. And so the reason that's important is because in these, so like this right here, so this has only one of 3 wings revealed. So by getting other reveals, it allows you to then take a one section.
It seems clear to me that our failure is due to the machinations of other syndicate members. And were you to let me go, I would make that crystal clear. The others here will be punished for their part, and I will be rewarded.
It wants it to help.
Killing me will bring you no closer to your precious artifacts. Not even I know where they have been secreted. But I may know. So be it. But if word of our deal makes it to other ears.
Okay, sorry. That was a very confusing one. And I totally don't remember what I was even trying to say. Oh. So the way that it works is, so for every wing in there, you get like, so in a contract, when you run a contract, you get to the end and you get a reward. And that reward is usually nothing. Like the point of running contracts is like the stuff along the way. For a blueprint, the only point of a blueprint is the stuff at the end.
And you definitely should not do so. But if you do,
That's awesome.
bleed.
Okay. So the only thing that matters in a blueprint is the thing at the end, and that will have a chance to just be X, Y, and Z. So there's currency that you can get from it. There is um, specific bases that you can get from it. There's specific uniques that only spawn there.
I'm afraid
And so that's kind of the point of it, is that you want to get those like replica uniques because some of them are really strong, and you want to get some of those heist only bases because again some of those are really strong. One of the mirage things literally says your only choices are experimented bases. So since those are really strong, if you can force it on there, now instead of maybe getting one every 10 books, you're literally getting a choice between 5 different bases in in one single wing. So you want to get all 3 wings or all 4 wings revealed, so then that way you can kind of get the best bang for your buck. So, for example, in this game, only physical and chaos damage can poison. So if you want to go poison build, you either need to have a really high base physical damage or really high base chaos damage, or somewhere in the middle. There's a heist only base that says that you get, or that all damage can poison. So physical, fire, lightning, cold, chaos, it doesn't matter. Anything can poison. And so that allows you to get really high poison damage. Hey, rank 1 to Corel. Let's go.
I get why you want.
Leo's the.
I get why you want to kill.
Sometimes I wonder. That was vivid.
I know I'm rambling again.
I think I can buy it.
Probably just like, shut the hell up. God.
Let's make a deal.
It wants it to help it instead.
Killing me will bring you no closer to your precious artifacts.
One of the other bases, there's rings and amulets. And the rings will say, like, oh, hey, you get -1 prefix and -2 suffixes. So you would only then, so you normally get 3 and 3. So now you only get 2 prefixes and 1 suffix. But what you have is twice as strong. So now your +1 to all fire skill gems becomes a +2 to all fire skill gems. Your global crit strike doubles. And so that's kind of the idea, is that it makes it really kind of crazy strong.
Must be.
bit of a firebug if you had.
You are brutal.
And so you want to, you want to run those. And the nice thing about blueprints is blueprints are one of those things that you don't like you don't actually need to kill anything. As long as you don't die, like there's no point in killing anything. You get no benefit to killing stuff. You don't get more loot, you don't get more anything. And so you literally just skip past the entire map. Your goal is to have a character that can tank every hit in the game, runs at like 400% movement speed, and then but you have literally zero damage. The thing I know, it's a mine skill, and it just runs this node that says like for every mine around the targets, they do less damage, and then you just throw out like 20 mines, and then they immediately do 80% less damage. And then you're naturally tanky AF. So hell yeah, another Valdo's puzzle box. Let's go. Yeah. I'm telling you, I I genuinely like I know you'll never play it, and I know that, you know, I know that you look at this and you're like, I would never like this, but I genuinely feel like if you played this game, this would be like your favorite game you ever played. Because you can really customize the game entirely around what you enjoy.
Make your wish.
And you never have to interact with the mechanic that you don't enjoy. If you find out you like heist, what you do is you buy contracts, and then you sell the stuff you make in heist, and then you just use that to buy more contracts. And then once you have enough money, then you stop running contracts and start running blueprints. Then you make an insanely tanky character, which again, it happens. Now, when you're super tanky, you trade off. You do less damage. But if you really hate dying, then you just make your characters that's semi impossible to actually die. The entire point of hardcore is not dying. Think about it that way. I mean, those guys make characters that can do basically everything.
Death is a natural.
Absolute. I just can't bring myself to.
Did you see that? It does not want to go to the dark place. The Lord.
It moves to be closed yet.
Thanks to your
That's just that, right? Okay, yeah. And see, I'm kind of a special case because like I don't like to die, but like 9 times out of 10, I also just accept that. Oh, hey, I died because I don't know how to make my character better. Like it's a defect in both I'm not good at the game and my character is just bad because I don't understand how to make it better. So I'm a little bit more forgiving of myself when I die.
Love a bit of gossip, don't you? Who's ratting who?
I'm afraid the. I'm afraid.
Yuck! That was vivid.
I'm going to kill you, Giannis.
A lot of people like hate dying more than they like surviving, and that's just not me. I'm only emphatic about one thing, and that's not PoE related. Well, that's not true. I feel that way about like bow characters because bow characters are just pure fun. They're kind of turbo dog shit, but God, are they fun. Let's talk about it. Yeah. Yeah, like I always recommend usually tell people to go RF first. Righteous Fire is the skill that you've seen. It's that red circle around you. You set yourself on fire, and then you just like regen more than it hurts you, basically. Um, and it works really well.
Did you set like the? I really do hate like the phoenix.
We'll let you smoke.
That was vivid. I see you.
Because what it does is it allows you to focus on like learning your character and
If there's one thing I
bro,
simply
these are
can't
terrible.
Others
this work?
Holy cow, was that bad? It allows you to focus on just being tanky because it it sucks at bossing, right? Like your single target damage sucks. But every time you kill a monster, there's a 10% chance for it to explode for a major percentage of its health and damage.
What is your desire?
And so what that means is like for every white monster that is on your map, well, when you kill it, once you kill 10, one of them is going to explode. That is going to then ignite everything around it. And then the ignite is going to slowly tick down and kill everything else. And you get these massive chain reactions. So it's like, okay, you can focus on what you enjoy. If you find out you like bossing, that sucks. You got to make a new character. That's the annoying part. If you don't like bossing, it's perfect because your character is kind of bad at bossing anyway. Um, and it works out. But since then you only have to focus on being really tanky, you um, you kind of get to actually focus on like what you actually enjoy and learning things versus just like, oh hey, I killed it so fast, I don't need to know what this does. That's what I do, and then I don't know like, oh, what does this do? I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? You've played this game for 7,000 hours. Like, yeah, but like I never did this. Like I never did Betrayal until 2 days ago. So I had to learn this entire system myself. And yeah, like watching the video now that I understand it a little bit more, it's like it's such a convoluted video, but I don't know how you describe it better than he did, and that's why it takes 70 minutes because he actually walks you through every single step along the way.
was a gift. Leave it in the bright place.
Um, Aisling and It That Fled are
A friend. Yes, that is the way to find it then.
We have
oh
come
good.
to an accord.
They had no interaction. So now It That Fled just got oh divine. It That Fled just got another interaction. So now another chance for it to come out
The
and
structure of this organization is
Let's talk about it. You actually enjoy just listening to me ramble about nothing? It's so wild to me. I mean, I get it because I mean I enjoy it when you do it, but you also never do it. So that is so weird to me. I'll never understand it. All right, Kadiro, give us something good, man. Just give me a headhunter. You know, just like quit being a tease.
I'm afraid.
You may despise the machine rogue, but you'll hate my
Pause. That's actually not bad. So this replica dragon fang is actually like a super sick amulet. So it's +3 to a specific skill. So there's certain gems like spells in general. Attacks not as much, but spells scale crazy hard off of levels. So I don't know if EA is any good, and I don't think I'll ever play EA, but I like having options. Ooh, a body armor. Okay, so let's think. Body armor. There's nothing here that I really give a shit about, so I don't really care what this comes up with. Blunderbore. I literally just take Blunderbore and go. Done. So Blunderbore basically says that your shrine buffs have increased effect on you. And remember, I told you there's a belt that says you have X shrine. So not only do you have that shrine, but then you just get increased effect. And then there's another helmet that basically says, oh hey, when you kill a rare, it will spawn a level 1 shrine, which is like a little baby shrine. And so it just makes that helmet better too. So that's just like, okay, well, I hit it literally in one, so I guess I just go. Oh, and so okay, so high spaces. So there's a few really good ones. There's that dagger that I was telling you about where everything. Here I'm going in because there's like 5+ high things around here, and I want those high spaces. Um, so one, everything poisons. That is huge. So this right here, 25% chance it can contain nothing but 3 additional reveals. So that means this does 4 reveals instead of 1. That's huge. That's literally like running 4 contracts in one, because you only run contracts for the reveals. So the amulet that I said that it doubles your prefixes. Well, yes, you can get a +1 fire that becomes a +2 fire, but you can also get +1 all +1 fire. So that becomes +1 to every skill gem, +2 to fire skill gems. Well, remember I told you the reveals. So for for the blueprints, only a certain amount of them become only a certain amount of the wings are revealed.
Death holds no terror for me.
What's wrong with
Like defeat.
If you think I'm going to say or do anything to further your...
Yuck! I really do hate the idea.
rot in that?
You are brutal. My clan would have liked you if they didn't want to throw you into the caldera.
We'll let you smolder behind bars for a while.
Oh, well, so deception contracts are the only contracts that grant you a reveal. So when you get a deception contract that says grants you 3 additional reveals,
Leave it in the bright place.
you know, it's literally just now you gain 4 instead of 3. Because that's the only reason you run contract is for the reveals. So like this one right here says wings revealed 3 of 3. In Trade League, this right here is worth like a divine because it saves you having to run contracts or reveals and then the currency it needs to reveal it. And so it goes up to 4 of 4. Ironically enough, I just got one that said 4 of 4 revealed. So this one here is worth about the same.
Your methods are brutal. I don't know what God's plan is, Exile, but I know that
I have reason to doubt.
you remind me why I left.
And yeah, that's part of the whole like rambling thing is I am only like half-ass listening to myself. I'm probably saying a lot of the same shit over and over, or just not describing it very well. But this is the monster you created, so deal with it, woman.
The Parandas family is not quite the gold mine it once was. But
I'm going to kill you, Giannis.
Literally, I'm gonna kill you, Giannis. Alright. Homegirl's not messing around. Chimera is 6. Leo is 6. So prison Leo. Is 6. So I'm gonna imprison Chimera. All prisoners are set free, plus 36 in. That took it up to a 97. So it's just that simple, you know? I almost have another safe house now to run. I'll have another one next map, for sure.
What is your desire? Come back alive.
pick up that. I also really like sending you messages when you're just used to me talking. It forces you to actually read, and I know how much you ladies struggle with that.
Hurry up to say no. Not questions again. Aren't you sick?
I'm no traitor.
Absolute. You're my kind of great. Can we hurry this up?
Time to up the stakes.
What's good practice? Oh, me messaging you and you having to read it? Yeah, I assume so. Mentally, I'd already moved on from that throwaway comment.
Fiend and fortune hunter alike turned to ash. Sorry, Alliance, of unending
I mean, to be fair, the comment was basically only to make you read what I had sent you. If we're being honest.
Only a fool plays at
Let me act as your spy. Let me be the beacon that burns bright.
It hears words, it listen.
Thanks to your hard blessings. Bless Hello.
Whatever. Whatever.
Make your way.
Yo, Radon again? Let's go.
fiend and fortune hunter alike. Sorry, Alliance.
Yeah, see, what you're forgetting is just because I send them doesn't mean you have to listen to them immediately. And yeah, I figured you wouldn't like doing that, which is why I never ask you to, even though I really want to.
when I'm ready and not
The battle has been won.
decidedly should not do so, but if you do, we bleed diplomacy. Don't test it. It's a metaphor. Put the knife away. Thank you. Please,
Yeah, it makes sense, but just know those are self-imposed barriers.
Time to up the stakes. Grip of the infinite. Grip of the infinite.
Hello? I couldn't take the portal. That was weird. I mean, I understand your point. I'm just saying, like, you know,
Thanks to your blessings.
it could still happen if you wanted it to.
I need more mana.
Hold on. Let me send what I'm actually trying to say, but not trying to put on YouTube.
I will hang your head on my belt, as Khaun did Lionized. Sisters, have you forsaken me? I choose. You decide. Imprisonment is for slaves.
I'm just not getting these damn. One, I'm not getting exalts, and two, I'm not getting any betrayal medallions. Rough. Just the way your mother likes it, Trebek.
our dirty little deal is over. Exile.
About
You should
time
know
you're
that.
back.
You win. Let's parley.
To fall, perhaps to die again, but pure.
Death is a natural.
I'm no traitor or trader. The Templars are.
If there's one thing.
It's survival of the fittest. Feel confident.
The Parandas family.
I'm going to kill you, Giannis.
Go on.
I just can't.
Go on. Do it.
You're not.
What?
I just can't bring.
Yes. Yes.
I just can't.
Yes. Yes.
I just can't bring myself.
Did you see that? It does not want. We have come to an accord.
Cameria. Impossible. Trait is just a word, exile. Death holds no terror for me, exile. Absolute. You're my kind of nerd.
Oh, the other thing I didn't really mention, part of why I did the two that I did, intervention and research. So, for whatever reason, intervention and research are guaranteed to be on your map every single time. Transportation and fortification have a 50% chance. So when one spawns in your map, the other one won't. So the other part of why I did that is because by having it that fled on my tree, I'm guaranteed to get him every single time in the mechanic he's in. But then I'm also creating those relationships to try to force him into the trees he's not in. And so that's why I'm not trying to put important people in transportation or uh, re, or fortification. Even though some of them are like, if I only cared about the safe houses themselves, some of them are just straight up better. Like even like It That Fled is technically best in transportation because instead of him having a chance to drop a card, um, when he's in a safe house in transportation, he just flat out drops a Foulborn unique. So instead of having to like farm for it, he could just straight up drop you a mageblood if if RNG was on his side. And to go back to the other conversation, admitting it would be step 2 of my thought process, not step 1, because step 1 still applies. That's more like, when I'm being evil and stuff. I don't really get to be anymore,
General Gravicius still.
That pathetic excuse for a man is not worthy of the Parandus name. You and I true
If you cut a Parandus, and you definitely should not do so, but if you do, we bleed diplomacy. Thank you. Please put the.
I just can't bring my crude choice. Always hoped I'd get a worry.
It does not want to go to the dark.
So yeah. Step 2 is the problem child. Step 1's the easy part.
Ready yourself. Make your wish. Get all
quiet like you are now, and then I'm like, shit, did I say something wrong? Getting ritual. I was walking everything, but I just get ritual every single time. I think I'm supposed to be blocking ritual.
This is not good.
What if I told you?
Look, Gaffs and I.
What if I I'm a talker.
Yeah. My family name. Time to espionage array.
Yo, another safe house. Let's go.
Time.
It gave this, it got that, it gave this. It is jealous.
Man, drop me another card, please. And then the question becomes, should I gamble the card? Like, do you really want to see me cry then? You gamble to get it faster, but it's just that. It's a gamble. So the way that gambling works is you can sacrifice up to half of the amount of a turn in. So if it's a 4-card turn in, you can sacrifice 2. If it's a 5-card turn in, you can sacrifice 2. Because you can never have more than half of a full turn in. So, you can kind of extrapolate from there. But
The red blade's a bit of a fire.
Let me act as your spy.
damn it, Curl, I need you to stop being so dumb and rank up. So the reason you would do that though is because you're going to okay. So you sacrifice the cards. That costs you some harvest juice, which you can get a ton really quick. It's not that big of a deal. So you put 4 cards in. You hit gamble. It will then give you anywhere between 0 and double what you put in. So if you put in 4 and it's a 4-card turn in, you could double your cards, get a mage blood, and turn it in. You could get 7, you could get 6, you could get 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or 0. You could lose every single one. See, I agree. Yet everyone else always like, no, you should gamble it. You should gamble it. I'm like, that sounds like a terrible fucking idea.
Ready yourself. Make your wish.
I'm surprised you didn't ask about my faith too, either. Either you already know what I was going to say, or you already know it's a bad idea.
Don't cage. You don't want to kill me.
Thanks to your hard work.
Or the real third option is you weren't paying attention and totally missed what I said. Gotcha. Alrighty. Hopefully Kadira gives me something good. Yo, Syndicate Medallion, finally. Alright, so now I can go show you the boss. Ooh, Ichimonji. Yeah, I'll buy that. That's good. Is that a perfect roll?
When I'm ready and not before.
Belt? Belt? Crap. Okay, well, that sucked. Alright, now, finish this map and then I can go kill Katarina. Katarina Rostova.
It gave this, it got that. It gave this, it got that. Bargain. It hears words it does not understand. Listen and do not blink.
Focus. Alright, so the Katarina fight, they actually just made a lot easier. Like, you kind of just ignore it now. Um, it used to be a lot harder. So in the room, and I'll show you when I get in there, but there's like these 4 little quadrants in the corners. And she used to have this thing where you would have to, she would go into each one, like one at a time, and she would charge it. And then that would kind of like heal her, and then you'd have to do that until she broke all 4. But now you just take this Syndicate Medallion right here. You just right click on it, and it automatically drops it into your map, and you activate. So that's how like all of the bosses work. It used to be like you had to do maybe even like a special thing to open it up, um, or like you had to manually put the fragments in like the exact right order, or it wouldn't open up. Now you can just right click them all. And so the fight starts here. So you're finally confronting her, and again, she's the boss. Um, so she's like physical and chaos damage. And then if you're in here, she spawns all these monsters, and she'll start dropping like chaos puddles on the floor and stuff. So you kill her once, and she retreats back to her actual hideout. And then you just come through the hideout, similar to all of the others. Just kill a bunch of monsters, get a fair bit of XP. Every now and then something will actually drop an item here, but like nothing really ever shows up on our loot filter. It's because like here's not really meant for it to be like a farm. You're really only here for the boss. Same as the other ones though. Like you're not really there for anything. You're there for the experience the monsters give you, because they actually give you a good bit of XP. And then here, so these are like the little things that she would break down, and there's one in each corner. But now you can actually just pre-nuke her, and then she's gonna go invulnerable. And now instead of doing one at a time, she absorbs all 4, and then just come here and blast, and she's dead. So now, same thing. When you talk to her, there's only one option, and it just automatically kills her now. And before, it used to let you go into the back and do a bunch of extra crap. They removed all of that and just baked it into the regular safe houses. And so now she drops her item. She dropped a Cane of Kulamak. She dropped an All Flame of Resplendence. And then if we wanted to, we could take her Bloodline Ascendancy. So certain things have Bloodline Ascendancies, and you can't see them in game. But like I took the Breach one. I don't actually use it at all. I just took it. Um, I could take this one if I wanted to. And excuse me. The idea is that it's just like it's a different kind of ascendancy that you can get from your dude. So what makes her items really cool is when you identify them. So this has 3 unveiled modifiers. So if you look at the item, how they're all those like squiggly lines, those are called unveils. So this veiled chaos orb basically says it'll completely re-roll an item and it'll add 1 unveiled mod onto it. There's a more expensive item called a veiled exalted orb, which just adds 1 unveiled onto it. But what you do is you take this to June, whatever her name is, and you feed it to her, and she will unveil it for you. So socketed support gems, I think is good. Another one is dot multi. Sounds good. I have no idea if what I'm making is even remotely useful or not though. And then fizz damage, poison on hit. Like this all sounds good. So this is a 10 divine cane of Kulamak right here that I just made. Now, I'm never going to use it because I'm not going to do like a fizz dot multi, but I have it. So that would be like a really good like bleed poison staff. Elf to the darkness. And those unveiled mods, there's some really cool stuff you can get. Like on helmet, there's +2 level of socketed AoE, socketed aura, socketed projectile. Those are all really good because there's this helm right here called the Archdemon Crown. So it gives you +2 level of socketed support gem or skill gems, but you lose the level of socketed supports. And it takes so basically what you can do here is you can make a helm that's like uh, socketed gems are supported by trap and mine damage, hypothermia, have a increased chance to crit, deal more elemental damage. And so you turn what could be a 6 link in a body armor into an 8 link in the helmet, and then you can also give it like an additional +2. So the helmet not only gives it 2 more links than it could get naturally in a body armor, but then +4 skill levels. Then you have +4 on your amulet, +2 on your wand. And so next thing you know, your level 20 skill became a level 30 skill. And for a lot of oh wow, I'm looking at second monitor, seeing if you're typing. So a lot of the spell gems get like crazy strong that way with that helmet that I have. Now mine's not crafted. Um, I just never farmed the essences to craft it, but it's super strong when you get it crafted. Greater Skeletal Shrine, about one of the worst shrine buffs you could potentially get. Cool. Okay. Have a good night. Text me if you want.
That pathetic.
General Gravicius still demands that we call him General. Anyone who cares that much about status makes my Perandus blood boil over. Please.
Strategic knowledge is the key to warfare. Spare me this time, and I'll tell you what.
A truce. You want me to betray that? It that disassembles tries to put the pieces back together. Always wrong. It can't make the pieces stay. Arms and faces.
Everyone's a critic. I know you want to kill me. I would too. But we are like the mythical.
Thanks to your
You've done well. What is your desire? So be it. Xerath will not like these.
Time to up the mageblood is so valuable.
Join the other corpses, exile?
Well, we said
This is not good.
Yes, yes. Send it to the
If there's one thing,
a rough tussle, but I'd rather not lose my head over it. I could, however, bear the loss. I call foul.
my family name.
I'm going to kill you, Giannis. Just not. It was only playing.
I choose.
It plays through.
I love a bit of gossip, don't you? Who's ratting whom? Who's been swiping gold from the coffers? Me.
Betray it. It does not want to go.
Make your wish.
always forget to plug my damn phone in.